Last time on Left Behind.
Hey, no!
Ray, it's me.
Buck?
I'm all right.
Buck?
Yeah.
Buck?
Yeah.
What about Ken?
Chloe didn't make it.
What?
Ken's dead, Chloe.
Where to, mate?
Willingly, please.
Dad, he's got a number for a Lucas Miklos.
You're not going to tell me this is Dr. Ben Judah.
What is it, Cameron?
I don't know. I'm standing outside. It just got darker and cold.
Based on Apollyon, the fifth book in the best-selling series, Tyndale House Publishers proudly presents Episode 57 of the dramatic audio edition of Left Behind.
Hello?
Chloe, it's Buck.
Oh, what's wrong? Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. Have you seen the sunrise?
No, you woke me up.
Oh, look outside, hon. It's like someone hit the dimmer. It'll affect everything. The temperature, agriculture, communications, everything. It's unbelievable.
Dad, come down here.
Listen, I wanted to call and warn you. Sorry I woke you up, hon. Is everything okay there?
Yeah, I'm fine. The baby's fine.
Good.
It's Buck. When are you coming home?
Everything okay?
I don't know. This has to throw a wrench into my plans.
Does it look a little dark outside?
Let me check.
Buck says the sun dimmed at 7 his time while we were sleeping. Talk to Dad, hon. I'm going to wake everybody up.
Okay.
Yeah, Buck, what's it look like there?
It is unbelievable, Ray.
Revelation 8.
Exactly.
We're going to have to determine what this means to all our solar-powered equipment.
Well, I thought Doc was already working on that.
I was. We just didn't like his conclusions. He says it's a third less power on top of being a third less time every 24 hours. He sketched out a model. We didn't get a chance to store much power in advance, so we sure hope he's wrong.
Yeah, he won't be. Hang on a second, Ray. I want to see who this other call is from. Ray, I think it's Rosenzweig. Tell Chloe I'll call her back, okay?
Yeah, I will. Okay. Look, watch your phone power.
Okay, right. Okay. Dr. Rosenzweig.
Cameron, I need to see you.
Now?
Can you manage it? I need some counsel.
So you know what's really happening?
Of course. I was at the last meeting when Tion spoke of this prophecy. The media's gone crazy. They want me to be on a panel of experts.
Well, what did you tell them?
I told them I am a botanist.
And they still want you?
The news people remind me I have spoken outside my area of expertise before, like the cause of the disappearances. The thing is, they don't really want my view. Fortunato just called and wants me to corroborate the global community view of this phenomenon.
Oh, surprise, surprise. How can I help?
I'm considering bursting their bubble. I might imply I will endorse their view. Wait until you see it. And when I get on the air, I will say what I want.
Well, that'll definitely be a test of your relationship with Carpathia.
Exactly. I'll find out how free a citizen I am. Now, I must meet with you, Cameron.
It has to be private.
The cellar. It is as private as we could possibly be. And I have something you'll want to see.
Here's the official global community assessment. Try not to laugh too loudly.
What is this? What, under penalty of prosecution by the Supreme Commander? You're really taking a chance showing me this.
Read on, it gets better.
All right. His Excellency wishes me to convey his deep personal appreciation for your willingness to endorse the official policy statement of the Global Community Aeronautics, blah, 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 blah.
Of course, I agreed only to review it, but Leon proceeds with his typically presumptuous tone. Anyway, read the party line.
The GCASA is pleased to assure the public that the darkening of the skies that began this morning is the result of an explainable natural phenomenon and should not be a cause of alarm. Top scientific researchers have concluded that this is a condition that should rectify itself within 48 to 96 hours. Really? It should not significantly affect temperatures except in the short run. There should be no measurable impact on power reserves held by GCP&L. Chaim, this is
Continue.
As for what happened in space to cause this condition, experts point to the explosion of a massive star, a supernova, which resulted in the formation of a magnetar or supermagnetized star. Such a heavenly body can be up to 15 miles across but weigh twice as much as the sun.
A convincing piece of fantasy.
Yeah, well,
no?
I might buy it if I didn't know any better.
This is not my field, as you know, but even I can see through this. The creation of a magnetar would have no effect on the brightness of the sun, moon, or stars, except maybe to make them brighter. It would affect the radio waves, maybe knock out satellites. Whatever this was, it was not the creation of a magnetar from a supernova.
Chaim, what do you mean, whatever this was? You know what it was.
As a matter of fact, I think I do. I would like you to hear what I am going to say on the air about the event.
I'd love to.
You were on the phone with Chaim all this time?
Actually, no, not on the phone. Listen, I just wanted to tell you to watch for him on the news.
What's he gonna say?
Well, I won't spoil it for you. Just make sure nobody misses it. It'll make your day.
We're having power problems here already. And this connection really isn't the best.
Well, save enough power to watch Chaim. You'll be glad you did.
I put out a simple request, as you all saw, for translators in various countries to interpret the daily messages in their own language.
Well, what happened?
Well, not only did I get far more volunteers than I needed, but some very advanced computer types are offering free software downloads that automatically translate into other languages. It's Pentecost on the net. I'm able to type in unknown tongues. Just hope with this broadcast that we detect some movement in Chaim's spirit. I don't want him to wait too long.
Do you still feel that way about me, Sion? Or have I convinced you I'm a lost cause?
Miss Durham, are you sure you want to hear my thoughts on your situation here?
Oh, just go for it. I don't have any secrets. I know you people sure don't.
All right. You and I rarely interact. I know where you stand, and my views are not a mystery to you. I believe you would be surprised to know how frequently during each day God brings you to my mind.
Really?
Again, I do not intend to embarrass you.
Oh, you can't embarrass me. Come on, let me have it.
I feel such a compassion for you, such a longing for you to come to Jesus. Somehow God has allowed me to see you through his eyes. A scared, angry young woman who has been used and abandoned. God loves you with a perfect love. Forgive me. Jesus once looked upon his audience and said, "O Jerusalem, how often I wanted to gather your children together as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, but you were not willing." Miss Durham, you know the truth, and yet you are not willing. No, I do not consider you a lost cause. I pray for you every bit as much as I pray for Chaim. I look at you and your fragile beauty and see what life has done to you, and I long for your peace. I fear you might suffer if you continue to hold out. I'm sorry if I embarrassed you.
Oh, well, I know you care. What time is that news thing on?
It should be on in a couple of minutes.
The potentate is very pleased with your presence here.
I am sure he is.
You will have a huge audience. This broadcast is on every global community outlet.
Let us hope the lights in the studio do not dim, Leon. I must get to my place.
Prescott. They know these people are going to say exactly what the GC want them to say.
Look at that. That guy's a singer. What could he possibly know about this?
I bet Buck is watching us right now.
When are they going to get to Chaim?
Oh, hang on.
Dr. Rosenzweig, your response?
Well, who am I to add to or detract from anything said by any of these brilliant colleagues or talented musicians?
I am a botanist. But because of my discovery, my opinion is sought on everything from the price of sausage to the defiant preachers at the Wailing Wall. To tell you the truth, I don't know who turned out the lights, and I'm not sure I want to know who the two gentlemen are at the wall. I'm not a religious man, a Jew by birth, and proud of it. But to me, it's a nationality, not a fate. All that to say this. Many were horrified to hear what happened to the family of Rabbi Tzion ben Judah. I was horrified when he became a fugitive, exiled from his homeland, his life worth nothing.
Thank you, Dr. Rosenzweig.
Oh, no, you don't. I have earned a right. I want to say that I am still not a religious man, but my religious friend, the aforementioned rabbi, has spoken to the very issue we addressed today. He said an earthquake would come. It came. He said hail and rain and fire would scorch the plants. It did. He said things would fall from the sky, poisoning water, killing people, sinking ships. They fell. He said the sun and the moon and the stars would be stricken and that the world would be 1/3 darker. Well, I'm finished. I don't know what to make of it except that I feel a bigger fool every day. And let me just add, I want to know what Dr. Tzion ben Judah says is coming next. Don't you? You must log on to his website. This is the address right here. All right, then. Go ahead. Pull the plug on me now.
Any luck with the marketplace?
None. I was supposed to get confirmation of shipments from Indianapolis last week, but they're snowed in worse than us.
The GC is blaming Tzion now.
All he did was predict this.
Well, when 300,000 die from exposure, they have to blame somebody. Tzion's a prime target.
You two might want to take a look at the latest to throw stones at Tzion.
The work of Dr. Ben Judah and the two preachers is nothing short of reckless black magic. Surely, if there is a devil, he is master of these two.
Steele?
Hey, Ray, it's Mac.
Mac, good to hear from you, but talk fast. These batteries won't last long.
Hey, listen, just called to tell you to watch the post day tonight if you can. We're warm as dust in the barrel, so when he goes to TV, he's going to be wearing this hip parka he had shipped in from the...
You haven't heard from... Mac. Mac!
Sir, there is no word on how much of the population will be able to view your message.
Well, that concerns me, Leon. I have been out of the public eye for too long. I must make a statement.
Yes, of course.
30 seconds to air, sir.
The parka.
Here you are, sir.
I instructed the studio to be bare.
Sir, there is only a chair.
Take it away now! All of it!
Yes, sir. Come, take this away. We want the studio totally bare.
And take the curtain away as well. I want them to see the wall.
10 seconds.
How do I look?
Very cold, sir. Oh, the mittens.
Oh, yes, good.
5, 4, 3, 2...
Citizens of the global community, I applaud your courage, your sense of loyalty and togetherness as we rise to the challenge of enduring yet another catastrophe. I come to you at this hour to announce my plan to personally visit the two preachers
at the Wailing Wall who have admitted their roles in the plagues that have befallen.
Nikolai's going to the wall? Personally?
Yes, and we should go as well. They won't let anybody near the place.
Oh, they might. If we bundle up and find a location that has a clear view, well, maybe we could build a shelter there, something simple. Maybe a wooden box or something.
We're down to our last few sheets of plywood for fuel. That warped green stuff in the cellar.
Well, we'll bring it back and use it for fuel later.
I will go with an open mind.
Who would ever think you'd have to deal with frostbite in Israel?
Where have you been? I thought you got lost. Or frozen.
I wanted to make sure we weren't too visible.
How do we look?
Well, if this weather keeps up, there's no way they'll see us.
Fine, but where else did you go? You were gone for quite a while.
It's the first time nobody was crowding around the witnesses. I went as close as I've ever been.
You saw them?
Yeah, their backs against the wall, talking to each other. The cold didn't seem to bother them either. Then they looked at me and they smiled. For the first time, they smiled.
We're ready to begin, sir. Hold this mic as close to your mouth as you can. Go on my mark, sir. And...
As you can see, I am at the Wailing Wall, a few feet from the witnesses. I bring you cordial greetings from the global community. I am here on behalf of the citizens of the Earth to determine what course we might take to gain respite from this curse on the planet.
We will speak to you alone.
Very well.
But
you may go, Leonardo. And the rest of you, go, please. All right, then. Shall we proceed?
We will speak to you alone.
These people are merely television technicians, cameramen, and so forth.
We will speak to you alone.
You will need to leave. May we leave the cameras running? Would that be all right?
Your quarrel is not with us.
I beg your pardon? You are not behind the darkness, the resultant global chaos?
Only God is omnipotent.
I am seeking your help as men who claim to speak for God. If this is of God, then I plead with you to help me come to some arrangement, a compromise.
Your quarrel is not with us.
Well, all right, I understand that, but if you have access to him...
Your quarrel is not with us.
I appreciate that point. I'm asking...
You would dare to wag your tongue at the chosen ones of Almighty God!
I apologize. You
who boasted that we would die before the due time!
Granted, I concede.
You who deny the one true God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob!
In the spirit of ecumenism, I do hold that one should not limit his view of deity to one image. But
there is one God and one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus.
Do you not see that yours is such an exclusivistic...
Your quarrel is not with us.
We are back to that again, are we? In the spirit of diplomacy, let me suggest... So, that is it then. Before the eyes of the world, you turn and sit. All I get is that my quarrel is not with you. With whom, then, is it? All right, fine. I assume this camera is on. Upon further review, the death of the Global Community Guard at the meeting of the witnesses was not the responsibility of any of the witnesses or any member of Dr. Benjudah's inner circle. My good friend, Dr. Chaim Rosenzweig, was at no time and in no way holding Benjudah or his people at our behest. As of this moment, no one sympathetic to Dr. Benjudah and his teachings is considered a fugitive or an enemy of the global community. All citizens are equally free to travel, live their lives in a spirit of liberty. I do not know with whom I am or should be negotiating, but I assure whoever it is that I stand willing to make whatever other concessions would move us closer to the end of this plague of darkness.
Woe! Woe unto all who fail to look up and lift up your heads!
You knew they'd explain it away somehow.
Steele.
Brakeford, it's Buck. I'm coming home.
Oh, it's great news. Buck's headed in. When?
Well, I can't fly commercial to Chicago from here. I'll have to go through Europe.
Any connections through Athens?
I can check. Why?
We met a friend named Lucas Miklos. I'll see if he can meet you at the airport. There's something I'd like you to ask him.
Because of the proven truth of Luke 21, I urge believers and unbelievers alike to train your eyes on the skies. I believe this is the message from the two witnesses. For those who have no access to such equipment, we are investigating a way to let others watch the skies through our telescope.
Brakeford, David Hasid in New Babylon.
David, you're taking quite a risk.
Listen, I'm glad I caught you. I just saw Sion's warning about Luke 21. You guys serious about setting up a telescope?
Sion says everybody should watch.
How far along are you?
Take us a couple more days, not much longer.
Listen, I suggest you stop.
What?
With a little software, a bright astronomer could just about pinpoint where you guys are.
Time of year of orientation of the stars. Thanks.
Right.
I should have thought of it. Consider it scrapped.
Good.
What's the latest in New Babylon?
The potentate himself has authorized the purchase of a colossal telescope, and I get to work with the guys who are going to man it.
Oh, great. You know what we're looking for.
Aeronautics and Space Administration spokesman Dr. Conrad Reinke.
The object we have been following has made the impact. This star we were tracking was first seen at night from Asia. It had no orbital trajectory, and we believed it would vaporize once it hit the Earth's atmosphere.
But that didn't happen.
No. We tracked it to an uninhabited region of the Fertile Crescent, near what many believe to be the cradle of civilization. But we wanted to get a closer look to study it. But
we're getting a global community aerial feed right now.
There, you can see the initial eruption point. This thing, I don't want to call it a star anymore. It appears to have triggered volcano-like activity deep beneath the Earth's surface, and the resulting cloud that you see is not wind-driven. The cloud seems to be spreading in all directions. Our worst fear is that the source of the smoke, you see, is a fire of immense proportions, and that it will eventually shoot flames miles into the air.
Cameron, I thought you were on your way home.
The flight was canceled.
No.
Yeah, the smoke shut down just about everything.
You can stay here.
Thank you. Yeah, just until I find another way home.
Be careful of Carpathia's claim that you are not still a suspect. Nikolai is not speaking to me. Leon is fuming.
Well, I'm keeping my eyes peeled.
Be careful of Enigma Babylon as well.
Oh, great. What's Peter up to now?
You haven't heard?
No, too busy getting ready to go.
It's the only thing in the news besides the smoking volcano.
The global community may have a tacit agreement with black magic religious terrorists, but the time has come to enforce the law. As much as it is in my power, I will prosecute offenders, so that we may all be clear. I consider exclusivistic, intolerant, one-way-only beliefs antithetical to true religion. As first initiative, in a sweeping effort to rid the world of intolerance, it shall be deemed criminal as of midnight Tuesday, Greenwich Mean Time, for anyone to visit the website of the so-called Tribulation Force. Technology is in place that can monitor the internet activity of any citizen, and those whose records show that they have accessed this site after the deadline shall be subject to fine and imprisonment. Thank you.
Supreme Pontiff, how does imprisoning people for surfing the web jive with tolerance?
I have no further comments.
Sir, if you can monitor our internet activity, why can't you trace Ben Judah himself and shut him down?
I'm sorry, we established in advance that we would not have time for questions.
I'd like to get a peek at that reporter's forehead.
All right, you've been crunching all night on this. What have you come up with?
Not much, sir. The digital facsimile makes it look like some sort of comet, but every time we try to measure it, it's got us stumped.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, David?
I'm no astronomer, so I haven't got a clue what I'm looking at, but it looks so small and not very thick. If you narrowed the parameters...
You mean... All right, let's assume it's closer than we think and smaller. A lot smaller.
You have to reset the interface.
Got it.
Take a look at that. Not bad, Hasib.
Well,
It looks transparent.
Sort of human-like, but different.
Very strange.
All right. I want you to point every available dish at it. Try to track it the way we do stars in the daylight.
Hang on. I think I have some.
You hear that?
Ja, nou
Left Behind, the dramatic audio series, is based in part on the book Apollyon by Tim LaHaye and Jerry Jenkins, and has been adapted for radio by Chris Fabry, with music by Steve Wick, directed and produced by Todd Bastide. Left Behind, the dramatic audio series, is a production of Gap Digital and Tyndale House Publishers. Thank you for listening.